Welcome, everybody, to an exciting edition Friday night's Triple B Experience. It's been a while since we did some pulp culture. We're going to talk some wrestling, but I have a special guest tonight. The WWE pay-per-view is Saturday afternoon, and I totally forgot about it. Kastle has emailed his picks to me. Larry, the King Striker, is indisposed right now, but he's going to give me his picks. But we've got a special guest. We got the world beater himself, Mr. Chris Coleman, in here to talk wrestling, pulp cultures, and all kind of stuff tonight. Chris, how you doing, sir?
Good, Bubba. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, pretty good. It's the two of us out of a five-wheel wagon because Shane also has his podcast. It's West Virginia Podcast at 9, and he's doing like 60 million things. And the kid and Larry just gave me his picks. But me and you, we'll do these picks very, very quickly, and we'll talk some wrestling and some pulp culture if you got time to hang around tonight. But so how you been? How you been? Oh, you froze.
I froze there for a second.
That's okay. Yeah. I was like, oh my God, I'm talking to nobody.
So busy week, but otherwise pretty good.
Yeah, last week was a little busy, was it not?
It was, yes.
Well, I want to congratulate you on, doing what you do best besides beating people up is, I can say it is, booking shows. So, how do you feel after 3?
I feel pretty good. Pretty good. You learn a little bit each time. Obviously, with anything, you get better with reps.
Yeah.
Hopefully in 2025 we do even better than we did on these 3 shows. And I don't think these 3 shows were bad. We had a lot of great talent. We had a lot of great matches.
Right.
All we can do is hope to improve.
Well, I do believe that, the first show was at the S&T Bank Arena, and we had an NWA World Heavyweight Championship match, which was never, ever been in the company's history, even back in the old days. This is a different feel and a different, same name, different feel. Can you attest to that? Because you worked in the old company.
Well, I started out as a fan of the old company in my late teens and early 20s, and then worked for the company kind of in that middle stage in, what was that, about 2005, 2006 ish, and then now the new version of it. And there are some things that are similar, but quite a lot that's different. But the business is different now than it was then.
You know what? Speaking of that, what is your take on the difference of the business then to now?
Well, I think, the style of matches is different now. Whereas in a lot of instances, there was a lot more kind of character and emotion driven matches for a lot of companies. And you were trying to hook everybody on, the story of a match. And now,
I can agree.
And now you have so many just incredibly talented athletes going out there and just, putting on matches that maybe necessarily don't have that kind of story and emotion behind it, but the execution of the matches is still very, very good.
Well, I think you're right on that, and I'm going to add a little bit of that. I think the execution and styles of matches is telling a story inside a match.
Sure.
Like, and I know you had to be diligent in this last show because we had some situations where we had to take care of some stuff. People couldn't make it, and we had to do stuff like that. So you mixed and matched and did what you did best. And after 3 shows, I mean, I thought you did great. So I mean, I thought everybody, Shane, after 2 shows of ring announcing is gotten better.
Yeah, yeah, and again, that's another thing with reps. Not everybody's going to be Hank Hudson, the best announcer on the circuit,
Right.
After 2 shows.
Right.
That guy's been doing it for what, 30 years.
Yeah, and I do not think that I'm the best promoter out there, but I will throw my hat in with anybody due to the fact it's all that. I mean, if I had raining dollar bills, I would throw my hat in there with anybody, but it's hard to overturn rocks and get the word out, but I think I did a half decent job, but I'm not anywhere satisfied of where we were at in Indiana or in Johnstown. So I mean, and hats off to the S&T Bank Arena and to the Kastle for letting us have those shows there. And we had some matches that were the talk of the town too. So I mean, speaking of matches, I mean, this last show had some matches that were the people were talking about.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of wrestling individuals that maybe I'm not promoting the companies or whatever now on this show because I'm doing my own stuff, and if people promote my company, I'd be more than happy to promote theirs.
Sure.
But I would definitely promote a lot of the workers. Like I never talked to Gorgeous Gregory my entire life. The utmost respect that I had for that kid Saturday night was tenfold. And a consummate professional. So if anybody's listening that is a promoter, if you have a chance to book Gorgeous Gregory, I think it's in your best interest to do that.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good worker. Hell of a athlete. I've had my fair share of matches with Gorgeous.
Sure,
Gregory
yeah. You guys had some
2 years.
Yeah,
we've had some real good matches. So
he gets the
like
business,
I said about the other Double G, Gerard Garrett. Gorgeous Gregory is one of those kids that if you're not booking him, you ought to be.
Well, that first match, talking about Gerard, they were popping just on hip tosses alone.
Yeah, him and Anthony Young had a very good match.
Yes, I mean, and I told him I was like, hey, everybody's like, oh, hey, Bubba, how'd it look? Well, we were watching it in Gorilla, and it's the small stuff that gets me, and they loved it was wrestling.
Yep.
So I mean, that kid's got some talent, and if we can book him when we can, I mean, I made the speech. If we can book you guys when you're available, we have an open door policy. I'm doing like quarterly. I'm not doing every month because every month is very, very chaotic, and I don't know how everybody else does it every month anyway.
Yeah. My hat is off to any company that does one show a month or more than one show a month because it is absolute chaos.
Yeah, I mean, me and the wife were hurting like Sunday. I mean, I'm not your typical promoter, so I was unloading the ring, and I would not ask anybody because Mark Charles, the referee, was going to be he was like, Bubba, I was like, no, Mark, thank you very very kindly of you, but I'm good, I got it. You know what I mean? I would never ask anybody to do something that I can't do, but the referees were good. The atmosphere in all 3 shows were great. Sorg Production doing that live stream was the first time we ever did that.
Yep.
And it was shown, and it was seen in Australia. My buddy watched it in Australia, and I thought that was cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
and they did a fantastic job. They were getting with us with wrestlers information and stuff like that. They were doing, match graphics on the fly because we were changing things.
Yeah. Great.
The morning of, as we were, some folks had some car issues and things, some cancellations. We're changing things, middle of the afternoon.
We're timing stuff, Batman, at the right time.
And those folks were absolutely great about, creating graphics to go on a live stream. I don't know how any of that stuff works.
Yeah,
but they were great at it,
and that was the first time ever. That was the first time ever, and even in his company's history, that it was streamed live like that. Like that was a one-time thing, because I mean, honestly, between me, you, and the walls, tickets, you want people to cop. I mean, I understand that, and they can watch it later. And but no, that was a one-time thing that it was great, and we raised a little bit of money for the Make-A-Wish charity. So we did stuff for 3 things for 3 organizations, and did what we can.
Yep.
I mean, every little bit helps. But yeah, I just wanted to say, I mean, Elijah Dean, Gorgeous Gregor match was great. That tag match when Paxton Calloway came through the curtain, holy shit! And I was a little scared there when that ring was like, oh man, because we had issues with the ring. We had to go get a come along, and you're like, Bob, this ain't looking good, and you flew into action. And
we were making corrections as we had to.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody that's listening, we're giving you a little insight. I mean, we're not giving you all the tricks of the trade, but we're trying to be not as transparent and try to be as real as we can, because things do happen on shows. Things happen, and we just overcame them, and we did the best job that we could. And I want to say to Chris and Shane and Larry and and my wife, they did a great job. Now, if we can get some younger blood, because we're all, and I appreciate Reese and JJ helping out, and my nephew Vinnie Mac. So and Josh from the Kastle doing sound was phenomenal. Josh was great. Hopefully we can take Josh on the road.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. So we're gonna take some time off. We're gonna salivate. The holidays are coming, and we'll get back. The company will be back out there, so you guys can watch the stuff on the Triple B Experience YouTube channel. And we do have a website that me and Larry is going to try to revamp. That is one thing that we need to do a lot better. And Larry does a hell of a job with a lot of the promotion and media stuff that he did this year. And hats off to the King Striker. I mean, he did videos and he got stuff, and hats off to a lot of those wrestlers cutting promos. Like Gregory in this last show, Elijah cutting a promo, and Sam, the handyman. I tell you what, Sam's promos are phenomenal. He just cut one for IWC because he got a show tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And he's another good guy. So, and the Rad Boys, the Rad Boys are always. I hope I didn't get any of that energy drink on me when they were spamming stuff around, but. The Troublemakers were causing trouble that night, and they actually got one over on the Rad Boys, which, things happen. It happens. And, the big boss, Glenn Spector, he reminds you of a 1976 kind of worker in my eyes. But then, he's been around the block. But, okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna still talk about some wrestling here. We're gonna go because there's a WWE pay-per-view, and some of the MegaCast guys gave me their picks, and me and Chris is gonna give you our picks, and it's in Saudi Arabia, so that means those Saudi Arabia shows are tomorrow afternoon.
Yes.
So that, I hate
1 o'clock
those.
in the afternoon.
I hate those. I gotta work, and I just can't stand them. But, okay, this match here is for the Women's Tag Championship match. It's a 4-way. The champions Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Damage Control versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and versus Metaphor, which is an NXT stable led by Dar and Jackson and Lash Legend. and then Messiah or Aura, or it's like 4 ladies. Which, no offense, I have no idea. So, who do you think would win that? Well, who do you think you would win that match?
I'm gonna go with Jade Cargill and Bianca.
Okay.
Yeah.
Champs. We're going with the champs.
Yeah.
I can't see losing
just
it.
my personal thought. No, I can't see the titles changing hands.
No, and I agree with you too. That's who I'm taking.
I good on the WWE for putting out
this is a cash cow. That's all this is.
A big women's match like that. Well, but at the same time, like one of the most striking things about Jade and Bianca is their physiques. They're in Saudi Arabia. They have to be covered to the wrist and to the ankle. Yeah. So you're taking away so much of that team's aura.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like when they go over there. But that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, it seems they have like some form of trouble every time they go over there.
Yeah. I always go back to the Goldberg and almost killing the Undertaker in that botched move, and I was like, man, it's just a cash grab. Okay, for the United States champions, you see we're going faster these Saudi Arabia picks. The U.S. Championship match, the champion, LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes versus Andrade.
I'm gonna go with LA Knight just because I don't.
Okay, you're just gonna make.
I've never been a terrible Carmelo Hayes or Andrade fan, so I'm just sticking with LA Knight there.
Well, I liked Andrade when he was NXT that first run, but then he just lost all kind of nothing like to write home about. But I'm going to stick with LA.
Right. Then he went to AEW and dressed like Black Mask, and it was
yeah.
Then he came back to NXT and it was meh.
Okay, well, I'm picking the same on that one. Okay. Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed.
I am going with Bronson Reed because I'm not going to pick against a monster like Bronson Reed.
Damn, I you know what? I think they're going to push him because the only way that he can get over is he has to win over on Seth Rollins. And that's what I'm taking. Holy shit. Okay. This is quick when it's just the two of us. For the women's championship match, the champion, Nia Jax, versus Liv Morgan.
In a match I could care less about. I'm going with Liv Morgan because I saw in like one of the early interviews they had Nia Jax out there by herself. Tiffany wasn't there, and so Liv will have Dom and Raquel Rodriguez, and there's just going to be.
So that means Nia Jax will be the face in Saudi Arabia?
I don't know.
Huh.
I mean,
wow.
Nobody has to like either one of them. It's just
right. Okay, so you're taking Morgan.
Yes. And okay. I mean, like,
you don't see a cash in, do you?
Not in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. Yeah,
I don't think so.
Purpose. I'm gonna say, you know who I'm taking. I'm taking Nia Jax, whether hell or high water. I got to support the team. It's like the Steelers. Now, Paul from Blackridge, he said LA Knight retains. Thanks, Paul.
Yep.
And if you guys have your picks, throw them up here. I know we're on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so here's another match. Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens. This is a hard one.
I don't think it is personally.
Okay.
I think they're going with.
Well, you're very scholarly in wrestling.
I'm going with Randy Orton here. I
You're
think
taking Randy Orton?
Yep. I think Owens is gonna try to get as many high profile matches as he can on his way out. I don't think he's gonna resign.
Where do you think he's gonna go to AEW?
Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna take Tony's money to go do whatever he wants to do over there.
I wish Tony would give me some money. Or give you some money to book, and then you know what I mean. It'd be great.
Yeah, I think he's gonna try to get as many high profile matches on his way out the door as he can, and then to increase his.
Well, I think they still want to do him and Cody, right? Again, I haven't been watching WWE.
I mean, he attacked Cody in that backstage by the bus or whatever.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine they're not going to have him wrestle Cody.
Okay.
But they had to do that champion versus champion for the Super Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, and the ring
best belt ever kind of thing.
And then they get a ring, and then and then Triple H is like, "Well, we're going to do it every year to see how many somebody gets rings like Tom Brady."
Right, and then the belts stay in Saudi Arabia at the WWE Experience or something there. I don't know exactly what.
Right. Well, I'm going to go different than you.
Okay.
I'm going to take Kevin Owens. Because after we do these picks, there is a lot of wrestling. I want to get your opinion on a couple topics from this week. Since you are a guru. Okay. Now I don't know what's gonna. I think the title should be the main event. It should be, but probably. Yeah, that's a hard.
The 6-man tag's probably going to be the main event, honestly.
Okay. So we'll do the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes versus the world heavyweight champion Gunther. Ooh, this is a hard one.
Gunther.
By pinfall? Because it'd be like count out or DQ or what?
It's a title bout, so that shouldn't. I wouldn't imagine you can win that via count out or disqualification or anything like that.
Okay, well, let me get your book in mind. So if you got two champions of two different products,
okay,
and you book this match,
okay,
but if one person loses clean, that would be deterrent for that other organization, would it not?
Okay. So here's my thought there. Where is this show?
Saudi Arabia.
What is Cody Rhodes' moniker?
The American Nightmare.
Why is he not winning in Saudi Arabia? Because he's the American Nightmare.
Okay. That was very good. Wow, very good analyzing the booking right there. Because now you got me thinking. And
now I know who the kid picked, because the kid,
he's picking Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, Kal-El wouldn't pick against Cody Rhodes at gunpoint.
Yeah, he gave me his picks, so we'll go. I got Larry's and that. We'll give as soon as we're done. I'll get in there and give
that
theirs.
Quick flash rundown.
Yeah, I will. This is a hard one. I'm gonna take Gunther because Cody doesn't lose face because it's in another country. Okay.
Also I'm sure Ludwig Kaiser will be involved in some capacity.
Right. So it's not going to be a clean victory. So, okay. So the main event would be the Roman Reigns and the Usos, the original Bloodline, versus, I always put Bloodline 2.0.
Sure.
Okay. Who would you take?
This is the one that I struggled with the most out of picking.
Oh, Harry, you must have. He's like Beetlejuice. Okay. Well, you knew that. You knew he picked Cody. But man, it was.
But honestly, I don't know. I don't know that they're ready to um have Bloodline 2.0 or new Bloodline or whatever you want to call it. They still need that momentum. Yeah, they're
You're
not
right.
ready to
Yeah.
they're not ready to put that to bed yet, I don't think. So I'm going to go with the new Bloodline here. Probably via disqualification, the Tongas get involved, or you see a 15th member of the family debut, or something wild's gonna go on.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of
Yeah,
them. Yeah.
yeah. Tonga Leona's still out there, and there's a lot of guys that are still out.
Zilla Fatu and
Right.
I'm going to piggyback right off of you because I think the same thing. Because if they lose, it means nothing. This feud means nothing if there's no momentum going.
It's
into
over
Survivor
already.
Series.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the Bloodline 2.0. Okay. Because that's okay. That's pretty much it. Now let me go with the quick. Okay. Well, the King picked Cody, Liv Morgan,
Right.
Jade and Bianca, LA Knight. He took the original Bloodline, Seth Rollins, and Kevin Owens. New cousin or brother, probably. Yeah, they're all related to Kal-El. There's tons of them. Probably somebody showing up.
Yeah, like I said, Tonga Leona, or Zilla Fatu, or
well, I think Zilla took his no independent. He can't do any independence, so they probably signed him somewhere. But let me go to Kal-El's. Let me go to Kal-El's here. Okay, let me go there. Boop. Give me a second.
That's fine.
Kal-El took KO, Seth Rollins. He calls him the fake Bloodline.
Right.
LA Knight to retain.
Okay.
Jade and Bianca to retain. Cody to beat Gunter.
Sure.
And I know he ain't picking Nia Jax to save his life, so he picked Liv Morgan. Those are his picks. So
I picked that match arbitrarily. I don't like either of them.
I know. I like Nia Jax. Look, I know they just make they do that gimmick with her and with the costume and attire. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I seen her when she was skinny, and she's a whatever. It is what it is. But anyway, a little discussion before we move to some pop culture stuff. Now, there were some releases today.
Yes.
Okay. Baron Corbin, Tia Knox, and Hartwell.
Yes.
What's your opinion on those three getting released?
So in Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox, they didn't seem to have as much for them right now. It seemed like creative was kind of losing their ideas with them. They didn't have anything with them kind of keeping them fresh and
right
relevant. And it kind of the same with Baron Corbin. Once they did that brief thing with him and Braun Breaker, the War Dogs or whatever they call them.
I like that name though.
Yeah. Like I thought it was good.
Yeah.
They can call Baron Corbin and Braun Breaker the War Dogs, but they can't call Hanson and Rowe the War Machine.
They changed it. They do now, but they didn't before.
I don't think they're the War Machine. I think they're like the Viking Experience Machine or something ridiculous. They're not War Machine.
I thought they were. Or the War Raiders or something.
Yeah, somebody in the comments can correct me, Kal-El or whatever.
Well, the War Machine, if they were the War Machine, that's copyrighted by Marvel.
Correct, but they used it in Ring of Honor, and Marvel didn't seem to care then.
No, he says. Well, Paul says they're back to the War Raiders.
Yeah.
But that's not the War Machine. They were the War Machines in Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor in Japan. Yep.
Okay.
I actually happen to know the guy that designs all their armor bits.
Because of your
various other hobbies, yes.
Yeah, actually one of my coworkers, we were talking today about your name come up, and I'm like, I'm like, Chris. I go, holy shit, Palmer. Harley Palmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go, God damn, it's a small world.
It really is.
Yeah. So, okay, and now you think they'll probably go to either maybe, do you think they'd be better in TNA or AEW? I think TNA.
TNA, if they're going to go anywhere, they're certainly going to get used better in TNA than in AEW. AEW, they tend to bring somebody in, do almost nothing with them, wait like 3 months, and then decide, oh wait, we have this guy, we need to try to do something with him. Look at Ricochet. Ricochet, came back, did like 2 matches, and then like, oh, we're gonna redo him versus Will Ospreay from 2013 when they're both 10 years old.
Same thing.
When they're both 10 years older and can't do it the same way they did.
Yeah.
And it fell flat, and they didn't do any, and they really haven't done anything else with it.
Okay.
To piggyback off of Ricochet there, Samantha Irvin recently released a tweet that she is leaving WWE. So what are your thoughts on that?
She's probably, well, I read, but she doesn't want to ring announce at all anymore.
That is also what I heard.
So, if she doesn't want to ring announce, the only way they could get her is they put a nice plug of money in front of her. Other than that, she doesn't have to do it. She won't.
Right.
It'd be better. Yep. You're right. Kal-El and you are on the same page with the. I think TNA is better. And
TNA and the WWE are still working together. You're seeing that Jordan Grace crossing back and forth from NXT. In the same week, she was, she lost the title to Masha Slamovich, and then she's on NXT with I can't.
I don't know because I don't watch
my brain's fried right now.
Yeah.
She used to be Delta. I can't think of her name right now.
Well, I know in AEW, was it Carmel? The NWA Ladies Champion who's with Monet.
Oh, you're talking about
Camille.
Yes.
Camille. Yeah, they're not using her properly either. So
no,
she's a world champion in my eyes. That's okay, Lair. That's okay, Lair.
It's not okay. It's a bunch of crap.
Yeah, it's a bunch of crap, Lair. Well, Paul says she wants to spend more time with her daughter. Oh, and she can sing. And Paul,
Oh, well, with her voice, I have no doubt she can sing. And I had heard that kind of speculation too, that it was she wanted to record music and do something that way.
Okay, so let me ask you one more wrestling question before we get off the wrestling topic and go to some stuff that I've been watching and you're going to help me out with. Oh, okay. I don't know nothing about that, kid. I have no idea. That's just too much ladies matches for me. I have no. That's probably NXT stuff. I got nothing.
What's that? What show is that on? Callow. Is that NXT or is that a TNA show?
Yeah, I have no idea. I've been watching a lot more football than wrestling, to be honest with you. But one wrestling thing I did watch was I watched the highlights of Bobby Lashley going to AEW. He was in Johnstown Tuesday night at a wrestling seminar because my coworker said he was training with his kid, and super, super good dude. NXT next week in ECW Arena. Okay.
Okay.
So what do you think about Lashley going to AEW real quick? That's one topic. And then I have one more, and then we'll get out of the wrestling topic.
So like obviously they're signing up what used to be the Hurt Business, which was, I can't remember what they called it in TNA when they were originally there. So you got Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley and MVP, who are all, stars and have done it on the highest caliber, going over to now AEW.
Mm-hmm.
And, Bobby Lashley, compared to 99.9% of that roster,
is a beast.
Is going to look like Godzilla.
Yes.
Nobody on that roster shy of Billy Gunn is going to look even remotely.
Billy Gunn makes fucking Cassidy, Adam Cole, fucking the Young Bucks. I mean, all together don't equal either one of those two.
Billy Gunn at 60 is the only one that looks physically like he could
a wrestler. Looks like a wrestler.
Like he could handle Bobby Lashley in a fight.
Yeah. So yeah, I like Bobby Lashley. So maybe he'll, and Shelton Benjamin did put on one hell of a match though against Swerve Strickland though. That was pretty good.
Did he wrestle Swerve already?
Yeah, that was the main event. That was the main event.
Because I know he killed Leo Rush the week before.
Yeah, well, that was the main event, and then Swerve beat him, but Swerve was getting his ass beat, and then MVP made a phone call, and then Lashley came through because he was already in Johnstown Tuesday, so he just drove up to Cleveland. So boom, there he is.
I got you.
So okay, one more thing. What do you think about this WWE doing these training places all over the United States in certain areas?
Well, I think they're trying to find ways to kind of get a hold of those next generation of talents before they go anywhere else and learn bad habits.
Okay.
They want to be able to
WWE way.
Right. And to be able to
What?
Larry.
Oh. I figured I seen your eyes go up there, Rock.
Yeah. Larry.
He isn't very big though.
Of all the points that he could have made out of that entire conversation, that was what he had to go with. Right. Kal-El coming in with a right hook here.
Yeah. I just think he's puny. Yeah. I'm not a big fan of either of them, so it don't matter.
Well,
I used to be.
He certainly doesn't look like he did it in
NXT,
Ring of Honor, and then at NXT. But
yeah.
Anyway, getting back to my point.
Yes.
I think they're trying to, get them used to working in the WWE kind of system with regards to the television production and things of that nature, like not getting get used to doing things their way.
Right.
And not learn bad habits.
Well, there's some nice federations, nice training schools like Dustin Rhodes.
Well, they've already. I think they already.
They got 5 of them.
Yeah, I think the Nightmare Factory was one of them. It might have been Booker T's school in Houston.
Yep.
Seth Rollins' school in.
Yep.
Connecticut, Delaware.
Somewhere.
Delaware, I believe, because I think he's originally from Delaware. And then there was a couple others I can't remember where they are.
Right, right. So that'd probably be they'll only have those certain ones. They probably won't add any more.
I mean, they might reach out to like.
He says Iowa.
Oh right, yeah, Davenport, Iowa. That's right. Yeah, right next door to Delaware.
That's the same place. Yeah.
Yeah, practically.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he's the only person I know from Iowa or Delaware, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody either.
But I feel like they might add like Devon Dudley's school.
Okay.
Or stuff like that. They might add other schools as they
might have a thing of like 10 across the
Yeah,
United States.
across the country. They'll probably obviously try to have one on the West Coast. California. I'm sure. I don't even know what schools are still open there. I know
I don't either.
Yeah, that like Ultimate Pro or whatever that had Kazarian and Samoa Joe and stuff like that was. May be there, might not be there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have Dr. Tom Pritchard School in Tennessee.
Yeah. That's a different style, though.
It is.
Yeah. Which is great. I like it, though. Don't get me wrong.
But is there a better wrestling trainer on the planet
than him? No.
Right now than Dr. Tom Pritchard, and I would argue no.
Right, and I would agree with you totally. So okay,
and who knows? They might reach out and try to get one. In the England, UK, in that UK area, because they do have a love for the folks from the UK. And they might also try to get one in Japan. They might try to,
and Mexico too.
Right. Yeah. Obviously, try to get those big, to get that next generation of kind of international superstar as well.
Right. Well, I just wanted to get your opinion on that since you are in the business, and it was a topic that was hot and it just came out about. But we are going to tag out of the wrestling, and we're going to hot tag into some pop culture stuff. Now, I'm gonna ask you: have you seen and watched the new Penguin TV show on HBO Max, or know of that show?
I know of it. I know Colin Farrell is playing the Penguin.
Yes,
I don't have HBO Max, so I haven't.
No, it's okay. Okay, well, I mean, but you know the comic book lore of the Penguin.
I've seen interviews and things with him talking about the makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the makeup is like great.
It's extensive.
Yeah, it is. I mean, he has the walk, and his he took the shoe off in one episode, and his foot's all fucked up, and that's where he gets the what I mean. But he's not like Burgess Meredith. You know what I mean? He's not like Danny. He's not Danny DeVito. Yeah, right. Yeah. This is a lot more. This Penguin TV show is the most violent DCU I've ever seen. More violent than the Peacemaker, because the Peacemaker was over the top. If you ever watched that, it was kind of
cartoony violent, right?
Yes, this is not cartoony violent. This is straight up
like gritty,
fucking violent. Soprano, fucking hardcore,
like Daredevil kind of gritty violent.
Yeah, but I think it's worse than Daredevil. But
okay,
we'll talk about.
Then you're probably looking at like Punisher gritty violent. Then.
Yes. Okay. Yes. And he's going up through the ranks, and he's playing both of these crime bosses against each other.
Okay.
And it's right after the Batman movie with the dude from Twilight.
Oh, Robert Pattinson.
Yes. So it's that dark. It's that fucking Matt Reeves is directing it, so it's dark.
Yeah. So that movie was also very kind of dark and gritty, very Batman Year One.
Yes.
Kind of style.
Yes, and I don't think Batman.
Which was a very good graphic novel, by the way.
Yes, I agree with you on that. But I don't think you're going to see Batman at all in this. No, and I don't think you will. But
I don't think you need to.
No, you don't, because the other characters are so enriched in this series. Like the daughter of the Falcone gangster, Sophia Falcone, is fucking badass. I'm talking badass for a female.
Yeah.
I thought Carol from The Walking Dead, which I'm going to talk about that in a brief moment, was a badass. This chick here is just ruthless.
Okay.
And she, the guy from Theo Rossi, the guy who was in Luke Cage. Was he in Luke? Yeah, he was in Luke Cage.
Who did he play?
And he played, I think he played an underling to Cottonmouth.
Okay.
And then he was, also in the Sons of Anarchy. So he always plays a fucking bad guy. And he's playing.
Okay.
Yeah, Juice. He played Juice in Sons of Anarchy.
Yes. Okay. I know.
And he's playing Dr. Julian Rush out of Arkham. But I don't know if that's a component of a bigger character in DC. They don't have it. And then,
did you see folks making comparisons about Dave Bautista's new look to potentially have him play Dr. Hugo Strange?
I have seen that because he lost a lot of weight. And that would be good because him and James Gunn are like this.
Mm-hmm.
because he's not as broad and big to play Bane. Not
anymore.
like he used to be. No.
He did originally say that if he wanted to play a DC character, it would have been Bane, but now that he's smaller, and if you look at the comparisons, some of the images of Dr. Hugo Strange from the comics and various animated pictures, if you put those big shining reflective glasses on Batista, he looks very much like Dr. Hugo Strange.
Well, that could probably be something, because they're probably going to do that kind of universe, probably a lot darker. And then they have the kid, Victor, who is a young kid who, Oz, and they don't call him Cobblepot, they just call him Oz Cobb. That's it.
Okay.
They cut his name down. And he has him, be his lackey. But they were saying that he could be some kind of serial killer from the Batman comics, which I do not know, because I read some of them, but I haven't read them all, and it's probably in the Batman 52. It was like he didn't have superpowers. He was just a serial killer, and what he did was every time he killed somebody, he would mark himself on his fucking chest and arms like a line.
He was,
you would know. You know what I'm talking about.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I've seen him in various things. I think you catch a brief glimpse of him in The Dark Knight, when everybody's getting broken out of Arkham during that escape sequence.
Yes.
You see him for a brief minute.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't be him then, because this is a teenager kid then. So it wouldn't be him then. It'd be Victor would be somebody else.
But at the same time, if you're going with it looks like they're going with a younger version of the Penguin here. So you could, if they're going with before Batman would show up, in.
Well, this is right after Batman the movie, the movie with that. So
okay, so I mean, how long into Batman's career does that guy show up?
that's true.
A couple of those guys, don't show up originally.
Well, there's no talk of the Joker anytime soon.
No, I mean you don't need Joker to do that. You can do
he's got a lot of rogue villains anyway, just like Spider-Man.
I would love to see love to see a version of like the Long Halloween or Hush. Hush was a really, really great story arc.
Well, they're supposed to do. They're doing the sequel to the Long Halloween right now as we speak, because I just got the first issue of that, but I didn't buy the second one. And then what they did now is they're doing this absolute Batman, absolute Superman, and absolute Wonder Woman. The absolute Batman is so hot right now, you can't even get the first. It's on third print already. It's only been out a month. Yeah. This is
so that those were there's some story arcs in Batman that I would like to see done either with the animated.
Animated they have the Cape Crusader animation on Prime, and it's like the old one, but it's like in the 40s and 50s style. And
I did see that one. I saw the episode where he meets Martian Manhunter and interacts with him there. And then also, they did such a good job with the animated Killing Joke that I can't imagine they wouldn't want to do the Long Halloween or something like that.
Yeah, that'd probably be coming. Well, they're doing the Creature Commandos, the preview for that, or the trailer, because James Gunn is wrapped up with Superman. That has wrapped up. But the absolute Batman is a take on Bruce Wayne being poor and the Joker is rich. And the emblem on his chest, he takes it off, it's a fucking battle axe.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole premise of the absolute Batman. So he's not rich enough to have all his tricky gadgets and shit.
Right.
But I haven't read it, so I don't know, and I haven't got it yet. But I did order number 2. But so if you ever get a chance to watch this Penguin stuff, I'm telling you, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And I think I'm on episode 5. It reminds me of Sopranos, kind of.
Okay.
So, I mean, anything like that's good. So, okay, from that let me ask you another question.
Yes.
Now, have you watched the Walking Dead, the Book of Carol?
I have not watched the Book of Carol. I could not get into The Walking Dead.
Okay.
I tried numerous times.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if the episodes I got to see were just like the slowest, most boring episodes of each season, but I tried and I could not get into it. I'm like,
well, the premise after season 11 is Daryl goes off, to do some stuff, and he ends up on the East Coast, and he gets taken on this cargo ship because they're looking for humans for experiments in France. Because it started in France. The zombie apocalypse in The Walking Dead started in France. So yes, he's shipwrecked on France there in the first season. Okay, so he hooks up with this nun, and what happens is her nephew they think is the second Messiah. They have like a religious cult, and then they have like military regime in France, and it's like the rebels, but the religious cult is not everybody's bad. It's just one of those leaders where he's drinking too much Kool-Aid, and he wants to take the kid, and if the kid gets bit and survives, that's the cure for the zombie. No, he gets bit, he's gonna turn into a fucking zombie, he's gonna die. So Daryl tries to save him all through season 1, and his aunt the nun, they try to keep him away from the military regime, from a lady who was in the museum who had the Mona Lisa and saw her husband get killed.
The Louvre, yes.
Yes. And then saw her husband get killed, and then she turned all crazy and had people under her like an army, like she had an army, with like hardware and weapons and vehicles and shit like that. But now season 2, this is crazy. Because you're like, oh, Bubba, yeah, you're like, Bubba, this is fucked up. And in season 2, the Book of Carol, well, Carol was looking for Daryl at the end of season 1.
So she also got shipwrecked in France.
This is fun. No, this is funny. This is even funnier. Right. She manipulates this guy who has a fucking Pied Piper plane on the East Coast of the United States. A Pied Piper plane, of course. You know what I mean? He has it. And there's like six or 7 episodes, and she manipulates him to go over to France because she finds out that he was on a cargo ship, and she manipulates him to go over to France in a Pied Piper fucking plane. You know what I mean? And they get to New Zealand, and then they resupply with gas.
All right,
yeah.
So wait a minute. Wait. Back up the truck here. Hold on. Hold on. If you're going to take me on this ride, I at least want to know where we're going. So you said Daryl went back to the East Coast.
Daryl went to the East Coast and got.
But didn't all of The Walking Dead happen in and around like Georgia?
It was in Georgia. It started in Georgia in the TV show, and then they worked their way up to Pennsylvania, and they had the Commonwealth and Virginia. So he was going. I believe he went to New York because in one of the other sequels, The City of the Dead with Negan, they're in New York with Maggie. So they split all these fucking shows apart.
Okay, so
it's like the Avengers. That's what they're doing. They're doing all these shows, and they all come
the
together.
West Coast, East Coast Adventure. Okay. So,
yeah.
So Daryl was in New York and flew to France.
No, he got shipwrecked. He was on a cargo ship that fucking wrecked, and he fucking was shipwrecked on the beach of France.
Right. So he left. He was somewhere in and around like the East Coast, like New York, New Jersey, Virginia, and is now in France. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I'm trying to take notes here.
Okay.
So Carol was where exactly?
Carol was in the Commonwealth, and she went looking for Daryl. I think it's Virginia or Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay. So. All right, so we left Pennsylvania or Virginia, somewhere in the tri-state area here, and
No, she got to the she was in search. She found information about Daryl getting taken on a ship overseas to France.
Okay, right.
Because they have like Americans dealing with the France taking people over there for experiments.
Okay, all right. So,
It's fucked up.
so she was in somewhere in near and around Pennsylvania where she convinced this pilot to take her to France.
Yeah, she manipulated him, telling him that her daughter and her husband were over in France. And
okay, so she left Pennsylvania, Virginia, somewhere ish.
Yes.
Flew
Pied Piper plane.
so flew west 16 hours to New Zealand when she could have flown 7 hours east to France. Am I getting that?
Yeah, you're pretty much right. Yeah, because they fueled up in New Zealand.
Okay, that you would have had to fly past France to go to New Zealand, or you would have had to fly in the opposite direction.
Yeah, it was in New Zealand. I mean,
right?
I'm pretty sure it was New Zealand. Yeah.
So this guy's the worst cartographer and pilot ever because he flew past his destination.
Yeah.
To backtrack back to this destination
because they had to fuel up, and then there was two environmentalists there that wanted to have the guy's sperm to impregnate each one of them, and Carol killed one, and the other one got killed. So, and then they got in the plane, and then they made it to France.
Oh, okay.
And then as the character name is Ash, and he hid the plane. When Carol went in search of finding Daryl, and then she found him, and then they tagged.
Lousy pilot, right? Okay.
Yeah, lousy pilot, and then Carol and Daryl tagged up again and took out the fucking the militia.
Okay.
And Carol killed the head leader of the militia,
right?
The army or whatever, and Daryl killed the religious fanatic, and he killed him with a fucking a skull, crushed his head in. But now they got back to Ash with the plane, and they got the kid with them,
right?
And then they could have three. It ended. They could only have 3 people in the plane, and that's how it ended. So the last show of the season, So the last show is who the fuck's gonna go in the plane back to the United States, and who stays. I think because they're doing another season 3. So I mean, I got it as good as I can get. I mean, I like it because I'm already fucking committed because I've already watched it all, so I'm already committed.
Okay.
And I like Daryl Dixon's. I mean, Normus Reedus I like, and I do like Carol. She's badass, but not as badass as the fucking girl who plays Sophia Falcone in that Penguin.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's the one thing I've been watching because I'm trying to do pop culture stuff that I watched.
It's all very confusing.
And then yeah, I know it is. It's crazy, but I'm gonna tab out right now, and now we're gonna go to MCU.
Okay.
So Marvel had a whole bunch of previews for their upcoming 2025. And then when you spoke about Daredevil, the Punisher is in that with the Born Again because it's still violent like it is on Netflix.
Yes.
And everybody from the Netflix series is back.
Excellent.
And that's all filmed, and it'll be ready to go.
I enjoyed Daredevil season 1 very much. Season 2 kind of got a little for me.
Season 1 was really good.
Yeah, season 1 was excellent. Punisher was kind of the same way. Season 2 towards the end got a little bit, harder to stay with. But season 1 was very good.
Well, they got John Bernthal as Punisher, and that's good.
Yep.
And they're probably going to do more street level heroes.
Yeah, like Defenders.
Yes. Well, I guess they're going to be they're going to be there. I think too.
I really enjoyed season 1 of Luke Cage. Season 2 again kind of got a little.
Yeah.
Where they turned him into the crime boss there at the end.
That's not good. I
didn't care for that. I didn't get to see any of Jessica Jones.
Oh, it was good.
Iron Fist couldn't hold my attention.
And it should have for guys like us, because especially the martial arts, but it's just I think the actor did it for me.
I don't know if it was so much the actor or the way that they had him play like this, just like whiny crybaby kid.
Yeah, that could probably be. But
it just seemed like the personality of Danny Rand was
terrible,
kind of not very good. It wasn't very well written.
Well, they're supposed to have him in the movie somewhere. I don't know what movie he's coming in, but they're doing animation stuff. They're doing another Spider-Man animation in January because Daredevil's coming March 4th.
Okay.
Ironheart, which is out of the
Iron Man, obviously, right?
Well, Ironheart. It looks like Iron Man, but it came from the Black Panther 2 movie. Riri Williams is the super genius, and that's coming out June 24th.
Okay.
And then they have an animation one with the Eyes of Wakanda. All the guardsmen, all the ladies, the royal
Dora
guard around.
Milaje.
Thank you very much. God damn, you're awesome. Yes, that'll be August 6th. That'll be an animated series.
Yeah, all those ladies are badasses.
Yeah, they are badasses. And then the Marvel Zombies comes out during Halloween, October 25th. And it's the thing from What If with the team of Avengers, with the zombies, because Marvel Zombies, the comic book, which I'm not into that, but it's supposed to be it's kind of more mature and R-rated.
Yeah. They could do some Marvel Zombies. They could always do they could do like kind of like the Howling Command is. They could do Man Thing and Werewolf by Night and.
Well, that's going to be your Midnight Suns. Hopefully.
Right. Okay. So Blade and Werewolf by Night. And,
Ghost Rider.
And
and they're going to end it with the Wonder Man's TV show in December, where he's Simon Williams, and the actor who's playing Simon Williams is the actor who played in Aquaman in the Black Mamba, the African American actor,
the Black Manta.
When I say Mamba,
yeah. Snakes versus sea creatures. Yeah,
yeah. So he's playing Wonder Man, and he's actually Simon Williams, and he's going to a Hollywood screen testing to play Wonder Man. He's Simon Williams, but he's going to Hollywood to play Wonder Man. So I don't know how that's going to be, because maybe they'll have the Grim Reaper because that's his brother. And really, in the comic books, Wonder Man, actually Vision got his brain patterns after Wonder Man when he died in issue 9.
Correct.
And yes. And then speaking of the Vision,
and that's why Wonder Man and Vision always fought over Wanda, because they both loved Wanda.
Yes. Well, speaking of Wanda, you went right into that. Agatha All Along. Did you watch any of that?
I have not. I watched all of Wanda. I've watched all of WandaVision, but didn't get to.
I will not spoil it for you, but for anybody that's listening, it is very, very good. It's 9 episodes. Last Wednesday they did the Halloween. On Halloween they did 8 and 9, and they finished it. And it's right like from WandaVision. And I tell you what, Caitlin Hahn is fucking phenomenal. So, and actually, Audrey Plaza is phenomenal too. And I'm not going to tell you what character she plays because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay.
But I will tell you, you let me know when you watch it. But they have, some of it is very, very close to comic book oriented. Very close.
So very trying to stick accurately to,
yes. Yes. So I'm very happy with it.
I pulled up some pictures of the Wonder Man.
Yeah, I mean he looks. He looks buff.
He looks good. He looks like Simon Williams did in the Simon.
Yeah,
Williams
and I'm not
comic book.
I'm not worried about the color. People are already bitching. I don't care. I don't care for real. People got something to. Yeah, people got something to bitch about. I just want to see good comic book TV shows and movies.
These are the same types of folks that got mad that the first time you saw Captain Marvel, it wasn't the guy from the 60s with the bracelets.
Because he's dead because he died of cancer.
Right. Come on, people.
Yeah. I mean, I only get bent out of shape when they play when they don't get the real character. So like if they had Simon Williams and they called him Sally Williams, then I'd be pissed. You know what I mean? Because it's not the same character.
Right. Like they did a little bit of that in the Spawn movie from the 90s, where they did some whitewashing of that cast, where if you're familiar with the comics,
Yes.
Spawn was, all the characters were African American.
Yes.
And when they made the movie, they whitewashed half of that cast. You had one of the badass villains, Chapel, became a white woman named Priest. It was like,
terrible.
Well, what happened to Chapel? Like, Chapel
terrible.
was a great
badass.
villain. And the villain in the comics, they I think they made, wasn't Martin Sheen in that movie? Maybe.
Yes, he was. He was. Yes,
he was the main villain. Where they just that kind of bothers me more so than them swapping around in this. If you like, you're eliminating complete characters.
Right. Well, they have good storylines based on the comic books that they have. Hopefully they revamp and redo Spawn, because now the special effects would be astronomical.
Oh, they'd be way better. Yeah, absolutely.
And I know McFarlane's trying to do that, but I don't know what he's doing with finances or whatever.
Whether he can get enough leverage and traction to do it. But yeah, I'm looking at that actor. I'm not even going to begin to try to butcher his.
Yeah, I'd have killed his name like Arabula Manamana or something. Well, I don't know.
His first name is Yahya Abdul Mateen II. I got the last three, I think.
Well, the only actor I know in Wonder Man is Ben Kingsley. And Ben Kingsley, the character when he played the Mandarin, the actor, he's playing that guy. So that's going to be fun.
He did a great job playing Gandhi.
Well, he played good at the Mandarin, but it was not the real one.
Not the comic book accurate Mandarin. Which also would be an excellent character to see put on.
Well, that Mandarin was on Shang-Chi with Shang-Chi's dad.
Right.
But they couldn't do Shang-Chi's real dad because of the Chinese people would be upset, or Chinese government, because it was Yellowface and Fu Manchu, and that was Yellow Claw, they called him.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I won't give you any. All as I say, people, is to watch Agatha.
I gotta go watch Agatha.
Yeah, you go watch Agatha. You tell me, because I don't want to. I don't want to tell. I thought you might have did it, but I don't want to give the spiel. But it's very, very good. It's 9 episodes, and it's a little bit more mature than any type of MCU. Not like Daredevil, Punisher kind of stuff, but like
more mature than closer to Moon Knight and.
Yeah, Moon Knight and yeah. But it's not like well, maybe in the Winter Soldier. That Winter Soldier and that kind of stuff. That little bit of maturity.
Very, very aggressive and
Yeah.
Kind of gritty, right?
Yeah, a little bit. First couple well, it's all in the horror stuff because it's witches.
Sure. So. And it wasn't wasn't obviously campy like She-Hulk, but
No.
I like She-Hulk.
I did too.
A lot of people poo-pooed on that, but
yeah,
I thought it was good
I liked it
because she was one of those characters, like Deadpool, that very oftentimes did break the fourth wall and talk directly to the reader.
Yep.
So for her to do that in the show didn't upset me at all.
Nope, not me neither. So, we talked about everything I wanted to talk about. Woo! So. Chris, tell everybody where you are, what you got going on in your working life. If you got anything you want to plug, now is the time, sir.
Tomorrow night, Reynoldsville at the Bellamaru Social Hall. Imagine Wrestling. We'll be putting on our next Reynoldsville show. I don't remember if it's called another Rumble in Reynoldsville or whatever. The exact title of the show. They'll have to forgive me for that. But I'm defending my heavyweight championship against Lucio DeVere.
Well, I'm gonna say, I hope it's a power slam 1, 2, 3.
Well, he can bring all the friends of Lucio he likes, but that's not going to be enough.
Matthew Lawrence and Jennifer Aniston's not going to be coming to the Reynoldsville Social Hall, and they're not going to. No, if they do, they'll feel the pain of the world beater.
He challenged the wrong guy.
Well, he's not too bright. He's got a couple screws loose, not too bright. So, but Hey, Chris, I thank you coming on a Friday night, and because I know you're a busy guy, but thanks for coming on and
Absolutely.
wrestling and your pop culture knowledge. Sorry about the Walking Dead stuff.
Oh, hey, that's fine. I was just trying to like.
It's a fly plane kind of.
I was trying to write a Venn diagram and
yeah, I don't. Yeah,
and my knowledge of geography and the producers of that show's knowledge
not
of geography is very different.
Yeah, they should have got a hold of you first before they did that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So, okay. Well, everybody, hit like and subscribe because it's been a while since I did a pulp culture stuff because realistically, I haven't been able to watch anything, and lately I have been. So that's why I did one tonight on Friday night, and because I'm getting ready to do I got a Steeler podcast because that Dynasty show's kicking, man. We did a live stream. We did almost 4,000 views. So I got 4,000 hours already complete. I just need subscribers on the other one. So, yeah, hopefully I can catch a dime, and then that dime could pay for a wrestling title belt and some ring apron. Okay, Chris. Well, good luck tomorrow. Kick some ass.
Thank you.
And, we'll probably, I think we might be doing a live. We're going to talk about doing a live Survivor Series, a watch-along. So when we do, people, we'll let everybody know. So, okay, guys. Have a good night, and we shall see you. Boo!